What's up, guys? It's Things That Don't Suck. I'm Tony.
And I'm Rich. So this is our first TV video review, and we're going to go ahead and start with the show Sons of Anarchy, this week's episode entitled Hands. So if there was any suspicion who Clay was talking to last week's cliffhanger, it's evident here that he was obviously putting the hit out on Tara. He's rounding up to thousands of dollars, his finances, in order to give the cartel, so it doesn't look good. Once the cartel, like they said, puts the hit out, they can't stop it.
Yeah, it's really no surprise he was scheming and did this. He doesn't really care about the club. He doesn't care about Jax or Gemma. He really seems to only act in his own self-interest.
So I think Jack's going to be able to give you a run for your money on your Stay Sharp time.
Nah, I don't think so.
Maybe not, but it was still a pretty badass clip. On one segment, he managed to put a bullet into the van, make it crash. Usain Bolt catch up to it. Tara's in the van, gets free of the bangers, and what happens? She gets owned by the van's door.
Yeah. Once they get to the hospital, that's when shit really hits the fan. She realizes the extent of her injuries, and it's going to be crazy to see where this relationship goes.
That's a good point. And I don't think Tara's going to really be able to forgive Jax that easily. I don't know if they're going to break up, but she went to med school for at least 10 years. This is what she wanted to do. She wanted to save lives. She wanted to be a surgeon. And this is definitely the club's fault. They're going to be together, though. I can't imagine what's going to happen, but they're going to figure things out.
I'll give you until after the Jetsons to decide. Then it's off the table.
So Juice is still in the same jam he's been in since the start of the season. This episode was a catalyst for a bunch of different subplots, and especially here. The federal agent seems to be pretty tired of Juice's indecisiveness and tells him he can either help him and he will get Sam Crow off of the case, or he will throw him and the club under the bus.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this is going to develop and ultimately pan out. He acts really sketchy around the club lately. He's constantly late for church. He's always acting a little weird when the detective's around. It's obvious that something's going on. I'm really surprised none of the club members have tried investigating this. Really hate to see Juice get killed, but with so much going on, it seems pretty much inevitable.
Yeah, definitely seems like that's going to happen. It was also pretty interesting to see him make that phone call at the end of the episode when he says the big man's in the house. That has to be the federal agent, so I'm assuming he decided to work with them, but he's got to have some kind of motive, so curious to see how that pans out.
Like we said before, shit hits the fan, and things between Gemma and Clay really escalate. When she confronts him about the money and the hit on Tara, things get physical, and it's not long before it's an all-out war. She even takes some shots at him before leaving the house.
It's looking like Hellboy vs. Peggy, advantage Hellboy. While it looked like he may even kill her, she just suffers some serious bruises that no amount of makeup is going to cover. Eventually, Unser comes over, sees her face, they realize Clay can't be saved, and this just adds to the plot. I mean, there wasn't enough going on. Now it looks like Gemma might try to take Clay out herself. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see how things play out. I won't be surprised if Clay gets quartered with 4 different people pulling him apart by motorcycles.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
You're my best friend.
I need you in this club.
My family needs me more.
So before we get to anything, how big of a badass is Opie? He pulls up a table to have this conversation. He is a boss. I wish I could grow a beard that long. But anyway, back to this conversation. What is going through Jax's mind when he's talking to Opie? He's telling him it's basically his fault that Donna's dead, that he can't be in the club anymore, even though he's in the exact same situation as Opie. I mean, he should know that he doesn't want to hear this. He's already having marital problems with his new wife. He's not that close to his kids now. They're never around. Piney's dead. Poor Opie. Poor Opie. I feel like Opie should just smack Jax in the face. I can't believe he's understanding right now.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, there's going to be a next season, so I really hope that Jax and Opie can settle this, fix their bro problems, and become president and vice president of this club.
For sure. So if this wasn't the best season of Sons yet, the writers and FX have extended it, adding another episode. I can only imagine what this means. The ending has to be ridiculously intense and insane. The climaxes are going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be Unbelievable. We rate this episode a 9 out of 10. You guys should tell us what you think, leave some comments, predict what's going to happen with next week's episode. I'm sure we're all very, very excited.
How do you think Clay's going to die? It's going to happen.
Definitely is.
See y'all later.
See ya.